Every second, 66 tons of food are either lost or thrown away, according to a recent report by the Boston Consulting Group. This amount translates into 1.6 billion tons of food per year. That is about 1/3 of the food produced across the world. While this huge amount of food is lost between the farm and the table, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization says over 10% of the world's population are suffering from chronic undernourishment.
The thing is, watching all that food go from farm to not a table is awful for a bunch of reasons. First, and most obviously, there are many people in this country who need that food. In 2013, nearly 50 million Americans lived in food-insecure households, meaning that at some point in the year, they struggle to put enough food on the table. And the fact that we throw away 1/3 of our food gets pretty alarming when you hear from some of those people.
It's hard. I'll go without food before my kids will. Budget is down to the penny, and it's just not enough still.
It brings you to tears.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just hard. They're so young, and it's hard.
It is crazy that that is happening in a country with 730 football stadiums full of uneaten food. It's insane.
I think, there's a lack of political will. Food loss and food waste, we already produce enough food to be able to feed every human being that's alive today and up to 10 billion people. Food is not distributed in ways where it can reach everyone who needs it. Again, we're losing and wasting vast amounts of it. So I think there's a lot that can be done from political leadership to really make sure that food gets to people who need it the most.
Experts warn that action has to be taken immediately, or there will be slim chance of halving food waste by 2030, as set by the UN. No doubt, the challenge ahead is enormous, and no one group, government, or company can solve it single-handedly, and coordinated action from all levels is inevitable. Against such a backdrop, raising awareness at grassroots level has begun.
Chefs are waking up to the reality of food waste because wasting food is wasting money. A trend either falls off a cliff or the trend becomes the status quo. I'm very confident that this will become the status quo.
While in developing countries, waste food happens during production stages, in developed countries it is generally caused by consumers who throw away food because they have too much of it or because it does not meet aesthetic standards.
We can stop wasting so much food. Policymakers need to take a huge initiative and really recognize this as a problem in both developing and rich countries alike. On the consumer side, we could all do little things every day in our own lives to prevent food loss and food waste. Sometimes our eyes are bigger than our stomachs. We can quit overbuying. We can store food properly, whether it's in our refrigerators or our cupboards.
New initiatives are being developed to deal with the food waste problem in favor of the poor.
We wanted to provide people with access to, nutritious fruit and vegetables, which when people are in financial crisis or in difficult situations, it's probably the thing they have the least access to.
There are lots of weddings in Indonesia. There are lots of surplus fruits, and there are lots of hungry people are still unfortunate. So, it's this program is trying to close that gap between the surplus and the needy.
These measures, though encouraging, are yet fragmented, limited, and insufficient vis-a-vis the scale of the problem. Needless to say, without global cooperation, this global dilemma cannot be solved at all anytime soon.